you're all ready to get going, we're going to start with you, Mr. Naveau. You've got 3 minutes to introduce yourself.
I'm Brian Naveau. I'm running for councilman at-large position, so I'll be representing all 4 wards, city limit sign to city limit sign. So, in my eyes, there are no ward lines. They're figuratively erased. I'll be accessible to any and all the citizens and neighbors and friends of Beaumont. My number is available. It is 512-502-4963. My email address is lagunavista1@yahoo.com with the number 1. Just a little briefly about myself. I'm a Nederland boy, born and raised. I moved here to Beaumont about 6 years ago because of business. I bought a property on Laurel Street, and I've been operating 2 companies out of it ever since. And so I decided to move out here to Beaumont. As a lot of people are fleeing and moving to the outskirts, such as Lumberton and these other areas, I decided to move right on in. And I've had a great time here. I've enjoyed living in Beaumont. I've made a lot of great friends and contacts, and even more as I've started running for this position at large. And so I just want to give back to my community. I've done very well here for myself and my family and my 3 boys that live with me. So I just decided that it's time to step it up a notch, do a little more for my community. Not that I wasn't before, but I think that this is a great opportunity for me to give my talents that I've learned in business and elsewhere as raising kids, being a father. My life experience will help me to do this job. And I feel that I'm confident that I'll do a great job for you guys if you'll vote for me. It's Brian Naveau at large.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Eller, 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. My name is James Dale Eller Jr. I'm Beaumont born and raised, 42 years. Don't plan on going anywhere. I want to be your at-large candidate representing, as Mr. Naveau said, every ward. I've already been doing that basically as a citizen, reaching out to citizens all around Beaumont and helping them with their problems with the city. I've helped out a few with like TCEQ, some with DD6, and some with the city of Beaumont, actually. I plan on continuing that. I mean, like I said, I've been at it for 3 years now previously, and now I'm just trying to do it officially for the city. I want to be better in contact with everyone. I want more people to understand me and see who I am and what I can do for them. I push for them, push for a lot of people. Like I said, I continue to do that. I have my company here. It's James's Able Hands. It's just a small business. We just do handyman work, basically. I've been doing it for a while now. I expand on all kind of types of work. I'm looking for expanding another business, Hot Shot Services, out here in Beaumont. And at that point in time, I'll be able to invest more into the community, regardless on how this turns out. That's just my plans and goals, and I want to try and see Beaumont grow. So.
Thank you. Mr. Ibarra, tell us about yourself.
How you doing? My name's Elias Ibarra, United States Marine Corps veteran, 8 years, 5 years active duty, 3 years reserve. I am a product of Beaumont. I was born and raised here. I went to Fell Elementary, King Middle School, graduated top of my class in 2009 from Central High. I went to Lamar, joined the Marine Corps, got out, came home, and I've got 2 beautiful boys, smart, talented, and everything that I do, I pretty much do for them. And so when I looked at the city itself, how stagnant it's becoming, and the issues that we could face in the future if we don't fix this now, I felt the need to step up. I've served my country. I've served the communities that I've been with when I was out with the Marine Corps in different areas. Done a lot of community service through the Marine Corps with youth programs, and I want to now ensure that I am doing everything that I can service-wise or in any shape, form, or fashion to bring Beaumont up and growth. I think it's important that we grow both economically. I think it's all a circle. If we don't have economic growth, we can't grow our schools. We can't grow our knowledge. So I think it's a full holistic view of what needs to be done. And that's why I decided to throw my name in the hat.
Thank you.
So,
Mr. Turner.
How's everyone doing? I'm Albert A.J. Turner. I'm born and raised in the city of Beaumont. I went off to college and got my degree in sociology with a minor in criminal justice. I do marketing and advertising. I'm the marketing director for a company called KLV Ventures and Logistics, and I'm also a truancy officer with the Beaumont Independent School District. My platform consists of youth engagement, which I feel like we really lack in the city of Beaumont, and I think we can improve in that. Economic development, which being an entrepreneur, being a VP and marketing director of a company, I understand how important it is to have the proper economic development in the city of Beaumont. Reduce crime. Crime plays a major role in the overall outlook of our entire community and infrastructure. One of the biggest things that citizens are concerned about in the city of Beaumont is our infrastructure. I'm a husband, I'm a father of 4 beautiful daughters. I'm a community leader, and I've been active in the community doing various initiatives all across the community. I'm responsible for an event called Hoop for Toys, where we have the Beaumont Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, as well as entrepreneurs. We play a big community basketball game and donate all the toys to the underprivileged areas throughout the city of Beaumont. I participated with Junior League in Beaumont, where I did Dancing with the Stars, and we raised lots of funds, and we gave this various nonprofits and different areas in the city of Beaumont that needed the proper help. I'm an advocate for the city. I've been involved. I will continue to be involved, and I'm that person who has the relationships with current council, people that are running for council, and the everyday people in the community. I can be the glue and the nucleus to a lot of situations and problems in our community, and I'm ready to step up and be your next city councilman at large with your vote, support, and prayers.
Thank you. Mr. Felshaw.
Good afternoon. I'm Randy Felshaw, and I'm seeking for re-election to my second term as Beaumont City Council member at large. Born in Beaumont, raised in Southeast Texas, married, 2 children, 6 grandchildren. And for the last years, I've been the senior pastor at One City Church here in Beaumont. For the last 15 years, I've thrown my life into this community, attempting to make Beaumont a better place for all of our citizens. I've done so through programs such as Not in My City, that addresses racial reconciliation and violence in our streets, with a program called One City Cares, addressing sex trafficking and the homeless situation, through a VOAD, a volunteer organization active in disaster called United Aid for Southeast Texas, which addresses tragedies such as Harvey and Imelda. With those 2 floods, we brought in 1,200 volunteers from across America, and we raised over $4 million to build people's homes. For the last 15 years, I have been active in this community and trying to help those that can't help themselves. I will continue to do that while I'm on council. I will continue to do that when I'm off of council. For me, this is not about politics. This is about being a community leader that's trying to make a difference in the people's lives of Beaumont. Now, I do believe that this next election is probably the most important election in recent Beaumont history. I say that because there's a lot of changes that are coming to this council. And because of that, I believe at this time, we need people that can manage ideals and projects, manage budgets and so forth, but we also need leaders that can bring people to a consensus and then move them forward with a vision. And I'm the person that has and will continue to do that. When I first got on council 2 years ago, I had a big vision, a clear vision, and high hopes. I didn't understand how difficult it was to navigate through municipal government and how difficult it was to deal with the process and the protocol. And so now, with my second campaign, I come back to you with the same clear vision and the same unbridled passion, but it is tempered with the experience of 2 years on city council. I understand now how challenging it is to get something done in and through government, because it does take 4 votes to get anything passed. And there are many restrictions that the state and the federal government places on us. And that's why I believe in this next election, these next 2 years, we're going to need experience on the council. And so I ask you to please vote, regardless of who you vote for, please vote, and please consider me, Randy Felshaw, serving now as your mayor pro tem, and would like to serve again as your city councilman at large. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we're going to move to the question and answer section. We're going to start with you, Mr. Eller. Why do you want to be a city councilor?
I've seen the lack of really transparency through the city to all the citizens. There's always been a disconnect in my view as a citizen. And I want to be that outlet. I want to be that person to be able to reach out to the citizens and be one-on-one in the neighborhoods, not just at the podium or at the seat. I actually want to be the one that you can directly contact, not just by phone or email, but come see me, call me, let me come see you. It's either way. It's been years that I've tried to make contact with the city council on different things, and it's a wall. It's basically not enough community involvement direct to the citizens. That's why I want to be. And I mean, I've already, like I said, been serving basically as a citizen, doing the same thing for 3 years.
Thank you. Same question, Mr. Ibarra. Why do you want to be a city councilor?
Yes, sir. The city has become stagnant and it's getting worse every day. The more we let it go, the worse it's going to get, the harder it is going to be to turn that around. We need leadership, new leadership. We need fresh ideas. We need individuals that know how to come together, get us consensus, how to reach out to the people and truly be a voice of the people and not just hold a seat or have some type of authority. We need people who lead, who can listen to the people, and that make the decisions that benefit the city and the residents themselves. And I felt that if I don't step up, if I'm not that change, and I'm giving into that stagnancy that Beaumont is becoming. So I feel that the need to come up and truly be a voice for the people and help make the decisions that benefit our children and our futures.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Turner.
The city of Beaumont has a lack of innovative progressiveness. What I mean by that is we're at the point in our community where we have been stuck for the last decade at roughly 118,000 people. We need leadership that's going to come with positive, innovative ideas and have relationships with the day-to-day people inside of the community. We need leadership who understands the importance of economic development, because economic development can take away a lot of these issues we face in the city of Beaumont. I'm running because I'm that person who understands all of those things in the day-to-day operations. I'm running because I'm heavily involved with our youth, and I know our youth is our future. And if we don't have a relationship with our future, how can our city progress? I'm running because I know that it takes 4 votes to get anything accomplished at the city council level. And I understand the way city government works, and I've been on top of it for the past few years, and I'm willing to be an asset to our community, and I want to help where we are currently grow into a positive direction.
Thank you. Mr. Felshaw?
Why do I want to serve on city council? I can tell you this, that I didn't just decide to get involved in our community when I decided to run for city council. As I mentioned, I've been doing this for 15 years. And so city council just provides me with a greater platform, a larger opportunity to help those that perhaps can't help themselves, to be an advocate for the people of our city, to reach out and to give a helping hand to those who need a hand up. City council is a great opportunity. It comes with great responsibility. And I believe that we have to stop and ask the question, what have each of these candidates done before they were on city council? What will they do after they're on city council? Because for me, this is not about politics. This is about being a leader in our community that truly wants to serve the people and help the people. What I've done on city council, I was doing before, I'll do it during, and I'll do it when I'm off of city council. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Naveau?
I'll tell you why I want to run. There's a lot of folks that do a lot of complaining about the things that are wrong with Beaumont. And there are a few that have solutions, but they're too busy with their lives to run. There are a lot of great folks out there, citizens of Beaumont, that can do this job just as well as any one of us. But it takes a service-oriented person to do what we're about to do. And I congratulate every one of us sitting up here that are willing to spend their time working on Beaumont. And so I suppose the reason that I'm doing this is I know that I have the experience. I work with global manufacturers. I'm a tax consultant. I'm able to look through red tape. I'm able to get a red line and go through the budget. There are many things that I can fix. I'm a visionary. I'm able to build things. I'm able to see things that other people don't see. And so I am running at large as a service-oriented mind. And that is what I intend to do, is be an advocate for the people all across Beaumont. Thank you.
Very good. Mr. Ibarra, we're going to start off with you. How does your professional career and community involvement position you for this office?
Yes, sir. As stated earlier, I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years. I got thrown into leadership roles at a very young age. I was about 22 years old when I was throw into leadership positions that were even above my rank at the time due to leadership not being there, and I had to step up. Dealing with mission success at a unit level almost, where we have to look at everything: finances, troops, personal feelings, and not feelings, but their personal issues at home, because all that impacts a warfighter when he's in another country. But looking at the holistic view, being able to manage missions and operations, I think is a huge thing that gives into my success or my experience. I also have 2 degrees, an associate's degree and a bachelor's in business administration with management. And as I said earlier, in the Marine Corps, I did a lot of service, whether that was funerals, doing honor guard details, and other programs with children. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ran out of time there.
Mr. Turner, your professional career and community involvement, how does that position you for the office?
Yes, sir. As a retired parole officer, I truly understand the reason a lot of people commit crimes, and I understand how to reduce crimes because I recently got the endorsement of the Beaumont Police Department because I've been involved with those guys and trying to solve some of the issues in the community. Economic development with the marketing company. I have the contract with Trans Global International where I market and manage millions of dollars, and I actually do hiring, firing, and training for this particular job. So I know how to actually manage a budget. Youth engagement. I do summer programs and camps. I do entrepreneur camps for kids in the city of Beaumont. I teach kids the basic fundamentals of what you need in order to be successful in life. I'm heavily involved in youth engagement. And other than that, I'm just an advocate for the city of Beaumont. I have been hands-on. I understand. I have a degree. I'm definitely highly involved in the community, and I'm willing to do the day-to-day operations and things that are necessary in order to make our community go in the right direction.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Felshaw?
For 40 years, I've worked in communities trying to make the lives of people better. I've had to work with budgets. I've had to work with councils. I've had to work with leadership. I've had to inspire volunteers. I've had to bring people to a consensus and move them forward with a vision. I've had to address the social ills and the social injustice of our community. For 15 years, I've been in Beaumont, advocating for people, reaching out and trying to help people, understanding what it takes to move a community forward. The solutions that we seek for the challenges that we're facing as a community requires a partnership between civic, business, and religious leaders. That's what it will take to move this city forward. People that are willing to come together, people that are willing to work together, and it takes leadership to make that happen. And for 40 years, I've done that.
Thank you.
Question one more time.
Question one more time, Mr. Naveau. How does your professional career and community involvement position you for the office?
I am an entrepreneur. I've been in business for myself since I was 26 years old in various aspects, from real estate to car business, tax consulting, and a gold company. And so I advise people in their finances. I advise global manufacturers how to reduce their tax obligations on their utilities. That's what I specialize in. And I have built my companies from the ground up with no help, no money from mom and daddy. I've had to figure things out. I am a problem solver. I have to be able to go through and do these complex algorithms and predominant use studies and figure out how to make these things happen. Number two, the other part of the question was?
Community involvement.
Community involvement. I'm a volunteer at Cajun Navy in St. Mark's, and we've threw out 3,500 cases of water in 4 days and cooked 1,200 hamburgers and 360 Zumo links. I'm all about it. So I'm here to give my time back to Beaumont as well as on the seat.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Eller?
Yes, sir. With my business career, basically, I've been in all types of homes, $700,000 homes all the way to $20,000 shacks. And I see everybody the same in Beaumont. It's not about what you got, it's who you are. Same thing with me. It's not what I have, it's what I got to offer, basically. And I've been there already. I mean, during the winter storm, I handed out hay to people all the way from Winnie, all the way to Port Arthur, all the way to Beaumont for their pets. I've reached out to individuals that needed help with broken water lines, shut off lines that actually the city of Beaumont hadn't even went out there and turned off in hours. Different things. Like I said, I've been obligated to the citizens, and I've always been a servant of the citizens.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Turner, we're going to start with you on the next question. What do you see as the single most pressing need for the city, and how do you propose to address that?
The single most pressing need for the city is, I would say, economic development plays a role in everything in my platform. The reason I say that is we don't have equal opportunity across the board for the entire city of Beaumont. When we look at reduced crime, we have things such as empowerment zones and things of that magnitude in Ward 3 and Ward 4, but we weren't properly marketing and promoting these opportunities to improve the culture and overall living of life in these particular areas. Most of these areas where the crimes are committed are the areas that are definitely underprivileged. And the underprivileged area also rolls into the school district, because the lowly performing schools are the areas that are in these areas that are predominantly heavy with crime. So I think if we definitely improved on economic development in all wards in the city of Beaumont, we can definitely see an overall improvement in the city of Beaumont. And when that comes into place, you'll see these big industries that have 300 to 400 job opportunities be willing to come to Beaumont, because you see better schools and you see better economic improvement, and it's a better look for the whole city of Beaumont.
Thank you. Mr. Felshaw.
Our most pressing need, we all understand that we've been stagnant in our numerical growth since 1960. And we're also stagnant in our economic growth. So the city must highlight its resources and aggressively pursue new and diverse industries. We have to change the perception of Beaumont. For too long, the perception of Beaumont has been less than attractive. They say that we have a struggling school district, a higher than average state crime rate, decaying infrastructure, and racially divided community. We have to change the narrative of Beaumont. It's time to write a new story, and that takes leadership. It begins with the mayor and city council. It begins with the leadership here in Beaumont. We should change the narrative of this city.
Thank you. Mr. Naveau, single most pressing need and how you propose to address it.
I think the single most pressing need in Beaumont is crime. We have to have a safe community before anything. If we don't have a safe community, businesses won't come here. Nobody's going to put their money into something, a restaurant, a building, or whatever downtown if there's crime. So we have to tackle that head on. And what I propose is putting together a crime prevention commission, which would be composed of community leaders. Jimmy Singletary, our chief. We could have folks from CPS, social services, coaches, anyone, just come to a roundtable discussion. These things trickle down and become policy. That's one of my top one priorities to get done.
Thank you. Mr. Eller, single most pressing need for the city, and how do you propose to address it?
Citizen involvement and pride for the city. I plan on trying to reach out to as many organizations as possible, and also keep the citizens informed on what we can do and what we have going on in the city, and make sure to bring your pets and bring your kids out and all that to really interact with the city. Make different things that we already host in different areas, like we have the farmers market over on Dowling or on College near Dowling at the athletic complex. We can have different things all the way around the city. We can have that same thing produced all the way around the area and involve all the communities, not just one. Individuals that have no ways to get to College Street, let's say, then we can go ahead and bring that to them instead. It's really community involvement, and then bringing that to the city and bringing the city to them.
Mr. Ibar, same question.
Yes,
Most
sir.
pressing need, and how do you propose to address it?
Absolutely. I think Beaumont has a lot of issues that need to be addressed, but I also believe that all these issues evolve from a similar source. I think we need to look at a holistic view of why we have this imbalance. Or let's put it that way. The issue is the imbalance. Simple things is look at Calder Street. If we could open that, Crockett Street failed, but if we could use Calder Avenue between 4th and 11th Street and open up businesses there, parking spaces, lighting area, populate the area, crime gets pushed away. Is crime one of our issues? Yes, it is. Economic development, one of our issues? Yes, it is. Two issues fixed right then and there. Knowledge, utilize those businesses to ensure that those streets are taken care of. Infrastructure is an issue. Use our businesses. Educate our children. a balance, right? And then he uses all the resources that we have to ensure that our schools throughout the city, not just certain areas, but throughout the city, are balanced and are really educating our children. And those children have mentors to look up to. And I think that's the biggest thing we need to do. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on to our next question. Mr. Felshaw, we're going to start with you. Discuss the importance of harmony amongst the council and how you would work to accomplish that.
Today's politics has become way too toxic. And we have to find a way to disagree without becoming disagreeable for the sake of our citizens. I say that because it takes 4 votes to get anything accomplished. And the council must maintain unity without being uniformity. We don't have to all be the same. We can respect one another's opinions, but come to a compromise and then move forward for the sake of our citizens. And then the second reason that we need to find a way to work together is because I believe that the toxicity that we see in politics today is discouraging the younger demographic from getting involved in politics. They're seeing that we no longer debate issues as statesmen, but we become experts in character assassination, and they're not willing to subject themselves or their families to that. So I have and I will continue to encourage healthy debate, decorum, and diplomacy on city council.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Naveau, same question. Discuss the importance of harmony amongst the council and how you would work to accomplish that.
Harmony amongst the council, it's imperative. I mean, it's necessary to get anything done. I can see there's division between the 4 wards, and I understand the reason that some of the council members want to keep money in their ward or keep things in their ward. That's what their job is. But as an at-large candidate, we are able to second someone's motion to get something done if there's a problem between the other ward members that may not see eye to eye. So what I say is that I'm here as an at-large to bridge the gap between the wards, and they can reach to me to get things seconded that the other wards may not want. So.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Eller, the importance of harmony.
It's check your egos at the door. You're not there for your own personal benefit. You're there for the citizens. That's why you signed up to do, weeks and months of campaigning before you got the job. And then once you got the job, then you got up there and decided on fighting for what? I mean, you're not fighting for the people. You're fighting for your own ego and somebody that ticked you off for the day for what? Let's make something happen. I mean, the way that we do that is drop the egos at the door, reach across the table and go ahead and shake a hand instead of shake a fist. We need to reach out to each other and make it happen. Like I said, you're up there for the citizens. You're not up there for yourself. So the main point is to look around, and as an at-large candidate, you can go around the city like a mayor's candidate. You can look at all the different wards. You don't have to have any strength in just one particular ward.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Ibarra, same question, importance of harmony amongst council and how you would work to accomplish that.
I believe that's one of the reasons why this election this year is extremely important, is because there is so much lack of harmony in our decision-making process in our council. And it's where do we go? It keeps us here. It keeps us stagnant. And so we need to have leaders who know how to come together to a consensus. And what does that take, or how can we get there? For one is we have to put the city's benefit first. Second off, we have to ensure that when we speak, when we discuss these issues, that we not only just provide basic information, but really get detailed information about what needs to be done. Effective communication, right? Being able to educate those around you on why this issue needs to be brought up or why it needs to be discussed. So I think that's one big thing that I can bring to the table is effective leadership, effective communication.
Thank you, sir. Lastly, Mr. Turner, same question. Talk about the importance of harmony amongst the council and how you would work to accomplish that.
Imagine young people looking at the way the city council currently operates. Imagine young future leaders currently viewing the way our city council operates. Do you think that's going to attract the young people to stay in our community? Absolutely not. We preach unity, but actions speak louder than words. And what we're seeing on our current council is a lack of unity. We need leadership who can reach across the aisle, talk to people who may not look like them, talk to people who may not have the same perspective as them, but be respectful in the same manner. That's what we currently lack on the council. Imagine an investor want to invest millions of dollars in our city of Beaumont, and they watch a city council meeting. Do you think that investor really would want to still spend that type of money in the city of Beaumont? Absolutely not. We need the type of leadership that's not biased, that's not favorable to one side. We need somebody that has the best interest for the city of Beaumont, all the citizens in the city of Beaumont, and the actual future and progressive growth of Beaumont. And currently, our current council does not display that. So it's your guys' job as a community to put the people that you feel like are the best people in place to make the community move forward.
Well said.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to get to our last question. Mr. Naveau, we're going to start with you. What role does local government play in supporting small and medium business and enabling economic development?
It plays a major role. It takes so long for things at the national level or state level to trickle down here, such as grants, funding, initiatives, things like that. As Mr. Felshaw said, we can put an item on the agenda and make it happen within a couple of weeks and bring it into fruition here. What it does take is a council that's willing to work together, that we have the same vision, that all boats are going the same direction. And I believe with the big change up, that several seats are going to be changed out, that there will be, I believe, more willingness between the new candidates and the few that are remaining, and a new mayor to get these new things done, so business can thrive, so employers can employ new people, so that our citizens can have good jobs.
Thank you. Mr. Eller, same question. What role does local government play in supporting small and medium business and enabling economic development?
Major role. City needs to make it more easier, cut the red tape, let smaller businesses grow faster, even with tax breaks, medium-sized to larger-sized businesses, help them along with help promoting events and whatnot. Main thing is just to make sure that the city actually benefits from their tax dollars, and the only way to benefit from the tax dollars is promote the businesses. There's restaurant weeks and whatnot, but we're not promoting a lot of this on the city websites and also going on to other media platforms to make sure that other individuals know that all these events happen. So we're not helping out our tax dollars. Our tax revenues are staying stagnant because we're not, as a city, promoting the businesses here, and we should.
Thank you. Mr. Ibar, same question. Talk about how local government, their role plays in supporting small and medium business and enabling economic development.
Absolutely. As mentioned earlier, we got to look at the big picture here. If businesses are not coming into Beaumont, we are not getting that revenue from tax. As it is, I believe it's 32% of our revenue comes from sales tax and use. We need more businesses. If we don't bring in businesses, then we're going to have to resort to property taxes, and that's already at 29% of our revenue. 71%, I think it went up to. How can we lower that and bring our sales tax? Businesses. The businesses don't want to come here. Why? Because of crime rate. So what can the city council do, local government, to ensure that our city is attracting businesses? It plays a major role. Everything that we do, goes back to, can we bring a business in? Can we bring more businesses in? Can these businesses help our city grow? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Turner, what role does local government play in supporting small and medium business and enabling economic development?
Economic development is very key. The role the local government plays is currently we give roughly $70,000 to the Chamber of Commerce. Me being a big guy in economic development, I know in no way, shape, form, or fashion, $70,000 is enough money to adequately have proper economic development in the city of Beaumont. So I think you need entrepreneur-minded people on the city council that understand the purpose of economic development. We have these empowerment zones, we have these different opportunities, but we're not properly marketing them. I think marketing comes very important when we speak on the city of Beaumont government, because we have all these opportunities, but the problem is who knows about them. We don't have a marketing department for the city of Beaumont. We have a social media that isn't flourishing. I myself have a bigger following than several of our different social media sources for the city of Beaumont. We need to emphasize on marketing. We need to support the chamber in a more positive relationship and diversify it to whereas both parties aren't sitting there saying, you come to me. We need to come together as leaders and do what we have to do to move our community in the right direction.
Thank you. Mr. Felshaw.
The way we support local business and economic development is through budget for economic development. We must get aggressive in attracting new and diverse businesses to Beaumont, continue to simplify the permitting process through tax abatements, incentives, take full advantage of state, federal funding for economic development and public and private partnership. Because we know this, as with the development of downtown Beaumont, that will not happen just on the shoulders of the city. There has to be a partnership between civic and business leaders. In 2018 and 19, the Southeast Texas Economic Development Foundation reported that over the next 10 years, from 2018, over the next 10 years, $54 billion and thousands of new families would flow into Southeast Texas. We have to stop and ask the question, are we ready for this growth that could be coming our way? All these different items that we've mentioned here are very important. But one of the things we have to look at also is we have to change the image, the perception of Beaumont. People across the state need to look at Beaumont and see this as a thriving and an exciting place to be to bring their businesses here.
Thank you. Well, that concludes the question and answer period. Now we're going to give you all a chance to close out this, and we're going to give you each a minute. Mr. Eller, we're going to start with you. Why should someone vote for you?
Well, like I said, I've been representing Beaumont for a while now. I've reached out to individuals. I started up a Beaumont, Texas information site, station site over on Facebook, and a lot of people have given me their problems and given me the opportunity to work with them to make it happen, make it solved. I've been doing it. Like I said, it's been unofficial, but that's been for 3 years now. So like I say, I didn't run for it 3 years ago, but I got the job. I've been doing the job and I'm ready to get it official and to go ahead and push forward as a bigger platform. I'm ready to be that individual, not for the job, but like I said, actually just up there for the position for the people that I can reach.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ibarra, same question. Why should somebody vote for you?
Well, first off, thank you guys for having us here. Really appreciate being able to have a platform to speak out. Dependable, committed, true commitment. When I take a task on, I'm committed. I committed my life to the Marine Corps, commit my life to my children. Every task that I take on, I commit to, and I have to succeed in it. I have to. Decision making, extremely important when it comes down to city council, especially taking into account an entire city, its population, its revenue, infrastructure, every little part of it. I've done it before. I have the experience there. There's a baby face here, but I promise you there's a lot of experience behind it. And I think a true care for the city and truly trying to be a voice of the people is needed. I'm not there to make my own agenda or other than to promote my city and have something to be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Turner, why should someone vote for you?
2 years I ran for city council. I fell short less than 1%, less than 200 votes. I didn't quit. I didn't move. I didn't get discouraged. I got myself more prepared. I got more serious. I built my relationships. And now I truly understand the way city government works. A lot of people talk, but we got to understand you have to have 4 votes to get anything accomplished at the city government level. I understand that. I understand the issues. I understand the problems. I have either attended or watched almost every city council meeting happen online. I know local issues that's going on. I know issues that's going on with the lack of youth engagement. I know how nasty our council meetings can get. I'm that advocate that say, I want to be the nucleus. I want to bring everything together and I can reach across the table and have a conversation with someone that doesn't look like me. And I truly understand the day-to-day operations for city government. I understand our job is to manage the city manager. And I understand everything that goes into the interwork. I'm asking you for your vote, your support, and your prayers. Be blessed, and thank y'all for having me.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Felshaw, why should someone vote for you?
With the many changes that are coming to our council with this election, I believe this election is probably the most important in recent Beaumont history. As I mentioned earlier, I do believe that it's going to require individuals that are good at managing ideals and projects and budget, but it's also going to take leaders that can inspire people, that can motivate people, that can bring people to a consensus and then move them forward with a vision. Leaders that can represent this city to the state and attract new businesses here. Men that understand how to motivate volunteers, how to lead people to a consensus, and how to lead them forward with a vision. For 40 years, I've done that. I'm Randy Felshaw, running for Beaumont City Council member at large, and I'm asking you to give me your vote. And together, I believe that we can unite for a better Beaumont. I believe that it's time to change the narrative of this city and let Texas know just how great this city really is.
Thank you. Mr. Naveau, you have a minute to tell us why someone should vote for you.
The reason you should vote for me, I have been in business for myself. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a father. I have been working my tail off for 20 years. It's all on my shoulders, whether I win or lose. Every decision that I make, every single choice that I make has consequences. And I have to take every bit of it into consideration. I don't act rashly. I don't make fast decisions. I don't make decisions without all the information. I am a consultant. I have to look at every single aspect of everything. It's almost exhausting the way my thought process works, but it works. And so knowing how I operate my business, knowing what it takes to be successful in my line of work in consulting, you can't make mistakes. It's almost impossible to continue doing what I'm doing and continue to make mistakes. So I have to make great decisions and follow through and never quit. And so I have that determination. I do have that drive, and I will continue the same type of work as hard as I work for myself and my company for the city of Beaumont at my seat at large. I ask you to vote for Brian Naveau at large May 1st.
Thank you very much, sir. Gentlemen, that concludes the forum. Thank you very much for being here. Greatly appreciate your insights on some really critical things that is going to impact the city here as we go forward.